welcome back to another Supernatural review. This is season 6, episode 14, Mannequin 3, The Reckoning, or something like that. It might be wrong, it's a weird title. If you're new here, I do a recap and review of every single episode of Supernatural, so let's get into it. So I actually kind of like this episode, and it's an episode that I kind of have some familiarity, something with mannequins, but I didn't really remember this episode. And it's something where I do feel like I probably watched this episode once before, but not more than once. And I really am not sure about the once one. Actually, I don't know if I ever actually have rewatched this episode till now. Who knows? It's not a very memorable episode. It's not something you remember. The next episode is very iconic, but it's not one of those episodes. But I was actually very happy watching this episode, and the reason I was happy is because it was a ghost episode. We have not had a ghost episode in so long, and I talk about it constantly, how this season is trying to do too many things and the focus is monsters, and so every episode is monsters. And how the first 2 seasons, when we talked about it here and you're analyzing it, a lot of the episodes are about ghosts, and it's something that just kind of goes over your head, you don't realize, but so many episodes are about ghosts. And I think maybe the reason you don't really realize that much is because the episodes are really strong. There's so many things you can do with ghosts in so many different ways, and I feel like Supernatural has done a good job about that. And so I just was craving ghosts, maybe they heard my prayers, but obviously this was long before I even watched Supernatural they did this episode. But I think some executive or someone, whoever, was it's been so long since we had a ghost episode, let's just do a ghost episode. Let's just take one episode off from monsters, let's just take one episode off and let's just do a ghost episode. And that's what they did. Can't lie, I don't feel like the ghost idea was too original, because we've had that before. It's someone died and it's getting back at their bullies. We've had that before. I think maybe the unique idea is with the kidney thing, because it was her sister's kidney, which actually in the future we see an episode where the ghosts, someone dies and then all their organs, because they were an organ donor, goes to all these different people, and that's a whole episode where it's that concept. I wonder if that concept came from this episode, but that's an episode I actually remember more than this episode. But yeah, I think maybe that was inspired, but I feel like they're still very different. I mean, we'll see when we get there, and hopefully I can remember that this episode happened and talk about it then. But I think maybe I really just still liked it because I was really needing a ghost episode, and so even though maybe in some ways it wasn't too original, it was needed. We needed this ghost episode. I think it's good that they had this break off from all the monsters and all the serialized stuff, because I think they wanted to bring Lisa and Ben in once more, because I think at this point they know what they want to do with Lisa and Ben, and I think after this we only see them for one more episode. And I think with that they were we can't just have that be the next episode, because I think it was something they didn't want to continue for so many seasons, this back of our mind, Lisa and Ben, right? And so that's why they came up with what they came up with, that I won't try to spoil. We'll get there when we get there. But I think they felt like they needed to have another episode. I think they did. And so that's why they had this episode, and they were we need an episode where that's some of the serialization, because technically it was serialized. It's, if you were just watching this out of the blue, you'd be so confused. You'd be is this his actual son? So because they had that, I think they couldn't do all the other monster stuff. But I'm trying to think, is there really anything else about this episode? I think it's just kind of purely episodic. And in the end, it's a really okay episode. But I think I put it on the top list, and there's a chance it could end up top 5. Probably will end up top 6, but I think there could be a chance it could end up top 5. And I think it's just because this season, I just think, if you compared this episode to other seasons, of course it wouldn't be on the top list. But I think it's because of how the season is that it just feels like a good episode. And I think in ways, even though it's just so okay, it feels like a good episode because it feels different than a lot of the other episodes. And it feels nice to just watch a Supernatural episode that feels easy and feels like how a Supernatural episode should be, despite it having all this Lisa and Ben stuff. Because in the end, I don't know, I kind of like that part of serialization than all the other monsters part. So honestly, it didn't bother me that much. And I think, I mean, I don't know what Lisa and Ben are even, or Lisa and Dean really fighting about. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And it's something like whatever. But so I feel like this episode was a good episode to have. It was very needed. And I don't know, maybe if they like had another episode like this, maybe a little bit earlier to kind of split up, it would have helped the season. And I think they realized they really needed to help the season. And this really helped the season that kind of has been struggling. I think because we're after our next episode's a great episode, which I like don't even know like how that came to be. Like I can't even fathom, and we'll get there when we get there. But like I think after that it's a lot of like serialized, not so good episodes that I think is coming up, and it's just gonna be a little bit hard because I know the season. I know I've been saying the season's not that good, or well, Supernatural is a great show, but you know, compared to all the other seasons, this might be the worst season. And so, but I felt like a lot of the episodes so far kind of have been okay. Like there have been some really awful episodes, but a majority of them have been okay. And I think maybe it's just like towards the end, it's like really bad episodes because honestly, after the next episode, my mind kind of goes blank. Other than like the Lisa and Ben thing, but I don't even really know whatever else happened in that episode. So I think that kind of shows that those episodes are not going to be good. But I'm very excited for the next episode. So, you know, comment below your thoughts about this episode and then watch. And then we'll do the next one. Very exciting. Okay, bye.